think we are now at 2:02. We
Wow.
have a pretty decent quorum of 71 participants from all over the world.
Wow.
Welcome everyone to the first virtual gala, and welcome to our 10th annual Middle East Vis Pre-Moot. You know, it goes without saying that this seemed like an impossible task, but with your support from arbitrators, teams, colleagues, everyone in our network, we were able to make it very possible. There's many people we need to thank, but there's one thing we have to do beforehand to really recognize all the efforts that we've put in, particularly for this virtual pre-moot. And it's to say the names of the countries that actually participated this year. To name them: Afghanistan, Armenia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Egypt, Georgia, Iran, Iraq, Urdun, Kosovo, Lebanon, Maldives, Myanmar, Qatar, Saudi, Sri Lanka, Tunisia, and the USA. Of course, we've had arbitrators from all over the world as well, but welcome to our virtual gala. Thank you. A pre-moot is not a pre-moot if you don't have a theme song. And I was looking on how this is going to be done, trying to mimic what Harry does, and I just couldn't do it. So I had to call for real reinforcements. And I said, Professor Harry, do you think we can try to do something special for the Middle East, specifically for Professor Brand? I was trying to surprise him. I kind of did and Kid kind of did not, but this is the song that we've been working on for a few weeks. It's called The Bridge. Professor Harry, if you want to give a little intro to it again for our colleagues who didn't hear about it, and we'll play the song to welcome you in.
Well, Mays and I and her daughter Mina, who made a very important contribution, put together this song. We put it together when we still assumed that, of course, everything would be going on in Bahrain. This would be played at the final gala, and people would be heading off to Hong Kong and Vienna for the final moots. Things haven't worked out quite that way, but we decided that the song, at least the theme of the song, still made a lot of sense. Some of the specific references, maybe less so, but the theme of the song still made a lot of sense. So when the song was completed, I recorded it in my little study here, and it's ready to go whenever it should go.
So it's called The Bridge, and it's in honor of the present that Professor Kritzer gave to honor to the pre-moot, and that he gave to Professor Brand. And this is really what we built, a bridge between the Middle East and the rest of the world. And it's after an adaptation of song Khatar, written by Ilham al-Madfa'i originally, and now being performed by Professor Harry. Go ahead, Kim.
And this may take a moment or two, I've learned, so.
Years ago, Professor Brand traveled a long way to visit Middle Eastern countries. He planned to show how commercial arbitration and resolve disputes amicably. He found that peaceful dispute resolution flourishes in the Middle East, but differences in language and approaches hide arbitration similarities. So he said we must connect these two worlds for the benefit of the global community. Let's build a bridge in the land of two seas to bind us in unity. Joy can visit us unexpectedly, hang the lit candles, kuta idna fara, nelek so anishmur. Now the Vis and the Middle East Premoot have become that bridge to our joy. Connection built on trust and friendship, a bond that none can destroy. The Quran says I made you different to get to know one another. Honored guests, Professor Spencer Krull and Brand have come and taught and learned with you as sisters and brothers. In the 10th Middle East Premoot, you showed and you honed your skills as Moody's. When you argue in Hong Kong or Vienna, you'll be ready to kick some booties. Joy can visit us unexpectedly. Hang the lit candle, utarid na farah, nele soani shmur, katarid na farah, nele soani shmur.
I must thank Mays. I must thank Mays for very patiently over a long period of time working on my Arabic. Thank you, as well as for all the contributions to the song too.
Thank you, thank you. And I know on behalf of the CLDP team, we have our Chief Counsel, Steve Gardner, who might want to say a few words.
Thanks, Mace. This has been an unbelievable experience to watch. Everybody stepping up, and not least of which the design that was done so quickly. It was unbelievable to me to watch Mace and Lucas and Chimay, along with Pitt, obviously Kim and Ron and Liz, and I'm going to leave everybody out that I won't remember everybody's name, but it's been unbelievable to see how fast this has come together, how many hurdles were placed, and how many hurdles were overcome. And even when it came to the arbitrators, the moderators, people stepping up from around the globe, no matter the time zone, no matter how many rounds they'd already done, people going without sleep. It's been a tremendous effort, and it really is, as Mace has been saying all along, it's a testament to really the Vismut family and the people that have joined this process over the 10 years and been a part of this process both in Hong Kong and Vienna. And to see what has been accomplished this week has been tremendous. And I think while people at the outset thought that the doing this virtually would mean that, it's almost nothing, all the things that really did bind everybody together and all the personalities and all the jokes and all the music, there's a lot that we can do virtually. And Ron wants to talk to me about doing new projects on, related to online arbitration. And some of the things we'll be looking at down the road. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg for what I think is going to be hopefully a really, great moots both in Vienna and Hong Kong. And I'm really glad to see that CLDP and Pitt and RUW and BCDR have really been at the vanguard of all of this. So thank you, everybody. I don't want to talk too long, but just to say a huge thank you, and particularly to you, Mace and Lucas and Chimay, for all that you've done to make CLDP look like a shining star.
Thank you so much, Steve. And specifically a thank you to Lucas. If you want to say hi to everyone, and Chimay, and there's a few other people as well. We have Ms. Shami and Ms. Arzu and Mr. Zamarik, as well as our full-on administrative team, Claudette, Shireen, and Senna, who work every day to make our procurements and our tenders, yes, we have those too, beyond just the VIS problem, to make this program run smoothly. But of course, as you've seen with all the logos, this is a partnership, personal and professional, and nothing has merged between the professional and personal together than our relationship with BCDR. is that we've truly become a family. And this year, I think we've crossed the line and have went into become a full-on family. And a few words from Salim. Your mic. بس المايك مالتك عيني.
Yes, thank you, Mace. Honestly, of course, I mean, the first thing I want to say is we wish we had hosted you here in Bahrain. We're looking forward to it. But of course, these things are out of our control. But the other thing I want to say is that beyond this partnership between BCDR, CLDP, CELI, of course, RUW, etc., through this experience, I could feel the legacy of the MOOC worldwide, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, CLDP, BCDR, RUW, CELI, we're few people, but it's mostly everyone who got involved, arbitrators, previous students, our moderators. I call them brand ambassadors. They're truly ambassadors for the spirit of the MOOC, and without them, we would not have achieved what we've achieved today. We hope that this can be a lesson of how to see the good sometimes in unfortunate situations. We were able to set a precedent, not just for the MOOC, but I guess for arbitration also as a whole. Why not? Maybe we can migrate towards virtual arbitration, online dispute resolution. But bottom line, I want to thank everyone who got involved in this. I want to thank the students, obviously, especially this year, because with all the uncertainty with the MOOC, it took a little extra effort for them to remain committed to this. So without them, obviously, this means nothing. Thank you for everyone who got involved again, and hopefully next year we'll see. Thank you. And special thank you to Hussein. And a special thank you to Hussein, and a special shout out to my team. But thank you to Hussein from BCDR and to Kim from Pitt. Honestly, Kim, I call her Kim Possible, and she knows that.
And inshallah, next year we'll be at RUW, Dr. Maria.
Second. Hi, everybody. Unfortunately, this year we could not host you. We were ready, everything was set. But as we all know, the coronavirus stopped us, but I'm glad to see that did not stop the experience for the students, did not stop the competition. So it was great to see these changing, and obviously Mace has been the mind and the energy behind this all, and along with BCDR. It has been really great for me as arbitrators. As you all know, my team decided to withdraw. However, as an arbitrator, I've seen the students really committed, and despite everything, they really wanted to do it and to make it. And their knowledge was in both the hearings that I have arbitrated, their knowledge was impressive. So congratulations, everybody. And obviously we look forward to having you next year at RUW.
Thank you, Dr. Maria. Professor Brand, I know we have, you're gonna say a few words along the way, so you can say a few words now or reserve them for later, depending on how you'd like.
Let me add my thank yous right now to Mace, to you and all of our colleagues at CLDP for an amazing job. Quick turnaround from one focus to another. Same thing with BCDR. Thank you, RUW, Maria, for being ready for us, all that work to prepare and then not have us there. But and the team at CLDP, BCDR, and at Pitt, I think just worked incredibly well together. I want to say thank you to those here at Pitt that have helped, particularly Liz Taylor, Nick Welts, and Amr Abusham, who have spent an inordinate time at the law school, even though we've been shut down, doing a lot of things, coming in at midnight, going till 6 p.m. But again, especially at Pitt, to Kim Getz, who has made the technology work for us, and in cooperation with BCDR and CLDP, that's really been wonderful. But most of all, I want to thank those who arbitrated, because you're the ones that make it work for the students. To the students who have done the work, thank you so much. I can tell you, as someone who teaches, that there's nothing better than seeing what has happened when you make these presentations and the quality of those presentations and the way that all of you have grown in this process. That's what this is about. Thank you, and thank you to all the coaches for helping them get there with that. But it's been a wonderful experience. It's been a diversion. We've had a fork in the road, but we've gone down it well, and I thank everybody who's traveled it with us.
Thank you, Professor Brand. It's true. Teams stay committed because they know that they're going to be getting the best educational experience from the best of the world. And it's an amazing experience and opportunity to provide for them, especially for teams who have gone through, let's say, many roads of challenges and barriers that are unimaginable. Some of them, as you know, have gone through political protest, lack of electricity, lack of financial resources, lack of cultural and moral support from their families, assassination attempts, kidnapping attempts. The list can go on and on and on and on. And still, it doesn't matter 5 in the morning or 5 in the evening. If there's a pleading, they'll be there. And they did show. They made every effort to make the connection, literally and technically, in order to do so. So with that, I think before we start our formal awards, there are some folks we'd like to thank. And Liz Taylor and I took a moment to really look at some folks that have helped us the past few weeks, especially our Vismut advisors. But before that, if you know, when we decided to turn this virtually, I right away called, all of Professor Schwenzer, Professor Kroll, Adrian, Professor Brand, and we were like, okay, we need to start developing material right away. But I have to admit something. Before I called any of you, I called one person before you. I'm sorry. There's just one person who's my calming voice. In the midst of disaster, there's one man that can truly calm me down professionally. Obviously, my husband is over there. But it's Mr. Michael Patchett Joyce. Where are you, Michael?
Mace, I am speechless with what you just said. I'm here and I'm waving.
Well, sir, we would love to have presented this award to you, but I don't know if you knew, the passwords to all the material were actually after your award. If you wanted to access any material, you had to be resilient. So the most resilient arbitrator of the year award goes to you, Mr. Michael Patchett Joyce. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I am honored.
You have been there for us from the very, very beginning, always pulling and bringing arbitrators in, advertising for the pre-moot no matter what, on or off season. And it's just such a pleasure, and we're very blessed to have you.
Well, I am so pleased that this year has gone so well, and that we've had not only a 10th MENA previous moot, but we've had a really successful year. And it just goes from strength to strength.
Thank you, Michael. Now, Liz, I think you have our next awardee.
Thank you, Mace. I do. So every year at the Middle East Pre-Moot, we do superlative awards. And this year, Mace and I thought it would be good to give these superlative awards to some of the moderators and trainers that we had. And so first up, Mario Benito Persone, all the way from Italy, who's been dealing with quarantines and moving his life. Mario, you win the award for most likely to nominate his cat as presiding arbitrator in the tribunal. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's I have to say it was a rough week for us in Italy, but then Mace, you really wisely said what the students have gone through their life, and to think that I just need to be closed in my house with all the comforts that we can have and the Western world, and to think that these students made it to be brilliant leaders just makes everything different. And I want to thank you, Mice, and everything that was involved in this to make this experience the most wonderful experience that I ever had online so far. And I'm really proud to be part of the team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mario. Amr, where are you? I call him Amar. Amar.
I'm here. I'm right here.
You know, I was really getting worried there. You kind of had to pass on your duties to Jared and didn't show up the next day. Started coughing a bit. And I have to say, you are most likely to cause a coronavirus outbreak at Pitt Law School, even though you have not traveled in the year and a half outside the United States.
Well, I always said I like winning, but this is not the thing that I wanted to win.
Oh, we're joking, obviously, but the reason why we're joking is because, you know, we were all in the frenzy of calling all of this, and we were very worried, but then we were glad to hear that you're okay. But we've been delighted to have you. I don't know if you all know, Amr was part of the Jordanian team originally. And after he finished that, he came to Pitt to do his LLM, and now is clerking for U.S. judge. And it's been great to see him coach team year after year and stay committed and keep Jordan's team alive and well and very, very strong. So thank you, Hayati, for all the efforts that you have put throughout the years.
Thank you, Mace. And I would like to thank the Middle East Pre-Moot family, because, I mean, if there's any success in my life, I owe it all to you guys and this process. And that is why I will always be here to help out with whatever I can. So thank you.
Liz, you have the next awardee?
Yes, and Amr, for what it's worth, was here in the middle of the night, many nights in a row for this. So our next advisor and moderator, Nick Welts, is here in the Pitt Law room with me. He's right behind me. And we decided that Nick, who moderated every session yesterday and at least one session today, and even convinced us that he was willing to trespass onto Pitt Law campus after hours in order to make a virtual pleading, when he admitted that he knew how to break into the school if necessary, even without keys. Nick Welts, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So our next awardee, I have to admit, I can't really tell you the behind the scenes stories that have happened on WhatsApp messages. So most of these you're going to be like, what is going on? But we're trying to make this as lively as possible. And we have to admit, I don't know if Isabella's still on the line and if she's joining us all the way from Australia, but all I have to say is she is most likely to survive a locust attack while arbitrating. I mean, if nothing can stop her from arbitrating, if she'll see flying birds across her face or a reptile comes creeping up, she'll stay still and all the way through her pleading. And she did so. And I'm not going to tell you the full story, but that woman's a rock star.
Absolutely. So our next advisor / moderator is Nadine Abawi, all the way from Jordan. And Nadine did an amazing job, moderated many pleadings, was a big help. But one thing we noticed in the WhatsApp group was that Nadine might be the most likely to lose the link to log into the virtual pleading, because I think I had to send her the link over and over about 3 times. And probably Lucas sent her the link every time in the first place. So Nadine, thank you. You were so wonderful.
I'm sorry, Liz, for that. And I would really like to thank everyone for this, especially the organizers of the 10th Pre-Moot Middle East. And sorry again for losing the links, but I had like 10 groups on the WhatsApp just for this Pre-Moot, so excuse me. And thank you so much for everyone.
You know, Robbie, where's Robbie? There's Robbie, down there or up there, depending on what you're looking at.
I'm here.
Robbie had to take a bar exam and the MPRE. Actually, the MPRE during the general rounds, I believe.
That's right.
And he would rather insert himself as the 4th arbitrator just so he can ask 3 questions and procrastinate on the MPRE completely.
Mm-hmm. That is 100% true. I have nothing to add to that.
A pleasure to have you, Robbie. Robbie came out with us and he jumped on board and helped a lot of our teams in Southeast Asia and the Iraq team as well. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Next up, this is our Suad Hijazi. I think you're on, but your video and audio are not on. And in my list, we decided that Suad she's most likely to give you feedback on your outfit, even in a certain circumstance where she can only see your face. She just knows, and she's been great. And she missed some sessions because she was in the hospital, and yet she still logged back in to help out later in the day. So Suad, thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello. I can see you now. Hello.
And now I think we have Bianca, but I don't know if she's on or not. She's been on for a long time, and she's on Aussie time. But no matter what, even if you schedule her at 1 a.m., she's always putting a nice smile to her face. So she's the most likely person to have the most beautiful smile, even if the pleading is at 1 a.m. in the morning, her time.
Thank you. All right, and we got to do a little one for Kim. Now, Kim, you're not a Vis advisor, but you're here. You've been helpful, and we just decided Kim is most likely to break the internet, or in her case, fix the internet when it doesn't work for us. So thank you, Kim.
And we did both of those.
All of it.
So next is Salim. I would call Salim all the time, and I would speak in Arabic in my thick Iraqi accent, and I would be saying things that I cannot translate to you because my boss is on the line too. But I'll tell you, no matter what I said, no matter how under what pressure I was, he was always, okay, no problem. Here's solution A, here's solution Z. Take it easy. It's not a big deal. It's just a pre-moot. What do you mean it's just a pre-moot? So Salim is always the most likely person to stay calm during an apocalypse. That's who you want to be around. If things go real sour, he'll be the very one to take you in the Zen mode.
Well, that's been following me ever since I was a small kid, so yeah. But I mean, for me, it's all about bringing value to the students. And even if we only had the material online posted, for me, I would have still been happy. I would have still been a happy guy. But obviously, this is like the cherry on top.
All right. So our second to last is for Hussein at BCDR, who has been behind the scenes and absolutely incredible. And Mace promises me that he's going to know what this means, even though I don't really know what it means. But it is most likely to be a multi-billionaire on BIT Life. And according to Mace, that means a real thing. Salim's laughing a little bit, so clearly I've presented something I don't understand.
My daughter's on BitLife. It's a virtual world. And Hussein is known to be a gamer.
Heard.
And the last one, last but not least.
Hey guys, I'm here.
Oh, you are? Are you on BitLife?
Yes,
is the question?
Oh my gosh. Like May said, I'm a new father, and I'm here buying stuff for my newborn baby. See? Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I'm with you guys.
Hussein, sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Hi Hussein.
هلا.
اسمع، أنت عندك أخت اسمها شيماء؟
إيه صح. Yes, I do have.
Listen, she's sitting next to me, and she was like, "This is my brother, by the way."
Really?
Okay, so yes.
So our next and
sorry.
Our last but not least awardee, Mr. Lucas.
Definitely not least.
Most likely to be in stealth mode during every pleading. He was pretty much Charlie, like from Charlie's Angels. He's always behind the scenes just telling us, go here, go there, go there. And we were all, if it wasn't for his orchestrating where we need to be at the right spot, it would have never happened. Thank you, Lucas, so much for everything.
My pleasure, and I'll just add my quick thanks to all the teams. BCDR and CILE and CLDP, just Herculean efforts all around and working all around the clock. So, I mean, I'm almost shocked myself that we managed to pull off the event, and it was incredible. So thank you to all you guys, and congratulations to all the teams and the arbitrators. It was a wonderful event, and we hope to see everybody in person soon.
Thank you, Lucas.
Yay, Lucas.
Great. And I think now I leave it to Liz and Robbie to talk about our memorandums. Time for memorandum awards.
Robbie, you want to get this started for respondent?
Yes, it's the runner-up and best memo, right? Just those two?
That is correct. Just
Awesome.
in the proper order.
Okay, so first, just to announce the runner-up to the Respondent Memo Award is the Royal Institute of Colombo, Sri Lanka. And round of applause for everybody while we have it. And congratulations. I graded the memos for these last 3 years, and they've all had, there's been a lot of improvement in just these last 3 years, and I think everyone did a really great job. And then the best respondent memo goes to University of Carthage, Tunisia.
No way!
There you go. Great job, y'all. I read it. It was really,
Go team!
really, really good.
I can't believe it. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And as someone who assisted in grading the memos as well, I can say that the memo quality this year was absolutely outstanding. Truly, it was a really, really hard decision, and I don't say that lightly. They were very good. It took a lot. So I'm announcing for best memorandum for respondent. And much like Robbie, I will give the runner-up and then the best memo. The runner-up for best memo for respondent is the University of Pristina. And the winner for best memorandum for respondent is Dar al Hekma University.
Thank you.
I think I just said respondent, but I mean claimant because Robbie very clearly presented for respondent. I'm very sorry. That was for claimant. Mace, you could have figured that out, but.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, moving down the list, I think we're moving forward to talking about our best oralists. We've seen some rounds throughout the past 3 days, practice rounds, but moreover, the general rounds.
Yes.
So I think, Salim, it's with you.
Yes. First, as someone who participated in many rounds, I want to say that the level was really elevated this year. And it's impressive, especially that some of you, I know they start the year, they've never read anything in English in terms of legal reading, legal English, etc. And to get to this level in such a short period of time is something impressive. So I'm going to start with the claimant honorable mentions. And I'm sorry, I'm about to butcher some names, but you're going to have to forgive me for that. Sirine Gasmi, Université de Carthage, Tunisia. Hudad Zarifkar, University of Tehran, Iran. Saeed Zoghi Asgarpur, University of Tehran, Iran. Victor Kolobara, University of Mostar, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Camille Boufarhat, Université Saint-Joseph de Beirut, Lebanon. David Zeuer, University of Pittsburgh, United States. George Karam, St. Joseph University, Lebanon. And Nourim Saddi, Université de Carthage, Tunisia. And now I'm gonna move to the best.
Happy birthday, George!
Easy. I'm now gonna move
It's
to the
George's
best oralist
birthday.
claimant. The best oralist claimant. And we have a tie. We actually have a three-way tie, not just a two-way tie. So that's how impressive it was. So we have Shahid Ghatwari, Alexandria University, Egypt. Georgi Gujabdzi, University of Georgia. I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. And Medina Sehic, University of Zenica, Bosnia-Herzegovina. So now we're gonna move to the respondent. Respondent honorable mentions are as follows. Hiranya Abiratne, Royal Institute of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Emir Amitotchis, International University of Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Mariam Gatchatze,
Thank you.
Tbilisi State University, Georgia. May Haroun, Université Saint-Joseph, Beirut, Lebanon. Tariq Malouf, University of Pittsburgh, the US. Sima Swaidat, University of Jordan. And David Zeuer, University of Pittsburgh. And now for the best oralist and respondent, Irfan Osmanovic, International University of Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina. So congratulations to all pleaders.
Thanks a lot. Wow.
On this year. So congratulations. Back to you, Mace.
Thank you, Salim.
Thank you, Salim.
Thanks.
A few years ago, congratulations all to the awardees. A few years ago, the Vis Premut established, I think it was with Miss Janet, established the Vis Spirit Award. And it was an award to a student that exemplified, or students that exemplified exactly what the Vis means. And it's very hard to describe what it really does. Until you've gone through it, then you really know. I think the first awardee was Dara from Dar al-Hikmah, and last year's awardee is Dunya from Afghanistan. 2019 and 2020 were not good years for a lot of people, particularly for the CLDP family. As you all know, almost a year ago, in April 21st, there was a terrorist attack, church bombings and other bombings that happened in 3 luxury hotels in Sri Lanka. And unfortunately, CLDP lost a member of its family, Chelsea. And the person who witnessed it all and survived it is Miss Chamai, who's here with us today. When it all happened, there was only one number she can really call. Folks that came out right away, the first ones to respond, who came immediately, was the former Vis Moody's from Sri Lanka. Suleiman, Shamalika, Tabitha, came and saved, along with all our embassy folks and our colleagues. And we were able to have our Chamai today. Chelsea was not so lucky. But when Professor Brand said a few years ago that the Vis Saved Lives this year, it meant a lot more than just a statement. Suleiman is just an incredible person, an incredible soul, along with his colleagues, who came quickly to Chamai, and him and his colleagues, and brought clothing, worked with the nursing staff, and made sure that she had access to connect with us and connected with all of us. And we are so grateful and blessed to have them. And there's really no way of talking about this that's going to make it right. And I know probably reading this or watching this later on, I'll be like, I should have said 60 million other things. But if there's anything I have to say is that things happen for a reason. Some of them are definitely not good. And you have to learn to see the bright side of every situation. And we are just blessed and lucky to have Chamai with us, and to have her with us, and to have lived and survived through this, and to learn from this situation to move together as a family, and our family stronger. And we are so blessed to have our colleagues from Sri Lanka be part of that family. So no one exemplified more than what it is to be not just a Vis Moody, but the best person truly than Suleiman, Shamalika, and Tabitha. Thank you so much for your honorable service and for everything that you have done for CLDP and the Sri Lankan Bismuth family, and really honestly for humankind, and specifically for bringing our Chamai back home. Thank you.
May I say one more thing? And I wasn't sure whether Maze has mentioned it, but Suleiman, not only he was, he brought this spirit along with him, but, you know, ever since he participated in this, he has coaching his teams for the past 2 years. He expanded programs in 6 universities in Sri Lanka. He organized and select teams, and he, as I said, really represent the true spirit of the VIS that I know. And thank you all.
We love you, Chimay. And with that, to continue the spirit on.
Before, can I say, just jump in for one thing?
Yes.
Shamai, something perhaps you don't know is that Mace was planning you a boat trip in Bahrain if the event had actually happened. So
Oh
I'm just here to tell you that we owe you a boat trip in Bahrain.
All I want is my lemon mint. That's all I wanted. Thank you.
And with that, to carry on the spirit, I know our colleagues from our winners from last year would like to say a few words of what it meant to have, I don't know, do we have them on the line? Is Suleiman on the line?
Hi, Miss. Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, how are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I mean, congratulations is due to these two lovely ladies, the gentleman and the lady seated on the other corner of the screen. They put in a lot of hard work throughout the, 6 to 8 months they've been involved in. And obviously none of this is possible unless for the support extended by all of y'all. And when I mean all of y'all, I really mean all of y'all, starting from the people who made this possible through because of the logistics, and extending all the way to the academics who wrote the articles that enable us to make the arguments we made at the movement. But yeah, it's been great, and honestly, I wouldn't have done anything different when you refer to what happened last year. And there was no second thought involved in the process. We'll do it again all over, but God forbid, nothing like that will happen.
Well, Suleiman, you keep the VIS spirit alive, and you continue to expand and impress us with exactly what you do for the program in your country and in other countries in which you support. We thank you for that, and we look forward for you bringing more and more from Sri Lanka and the neighboring countries to continue to advise students to do their best and be the best example there is as our ambassador for our program. Thank you so much. What has it meant for your teams when they, you were one of your teams won last year, and they've had the award for a year, and it must have changed a lot for them professionally and personally.
It did. In fact, I have one of the members of the winning teams who was a student coach this year, Vineshka. She came back to give back to the program.
Hi.
And she also won the, award for the spirit last year. Yeah,
I won the Meena Chambers Award. So that's from Salim and the rest of the people at BCTR and Meena Chambers. But yeah, I think I really am grateful. And the reason I did come back as a student coach is because I realized that because of the opportunity that CLDEP gave me to take part in the moot, that I really saw my capabilities and everything really just increase. And I was part of the team that happened to win the moot last year. And just starting from that, even not only in Hong Kong, but even in my day-to-day life, even in how I deal with situations, the Bahrain pre-moot, I think, was kind of like a really major stepping stone for me, not only in increasing my confidence, but also it helped me realize my capabilities. It helped me realize my failures as well. And I'm not just saying it because it sounds nice, it's because I actually feel it. So that is why, even though I thought I would be sick of this entire mooting concept after 11 months, a couple of months later when they asked for student coaches, I came back. And we coached the team through the national rounds and then up to this point as well. So I'm really grateful to those at CLDP as well as the organizers and all the many, many sponsors of the MENA Pre-Moot for this experience. And yeah, I'm really grateful that we were able to win it last year and bring back 2 equally good teams this year as well.
Thank you so much. And with that, Professor Brand?
Thank you, Mace. Well, this does bring us to the final award in the pre-moot, the winning team. And I know we've been talking for some time here, but I do have to preface this. And I preface it with a comment about the trophy that goes to the winning team in this pre-moot. Now in Vienna, there are no trophies, there are certificates. And I think that's a really good practice because trophies are things and things can't really express what this is all about. But we do have a very special trophy for the winning team in the Middle East pre-moot. It's a traveling trophy that goes with the winning team, so we'll see how far it has to travel this year. But when we were preparing to do the first Middle East pre-moot, which took place in 2011, and it also had to be adjusted because in 2011 things happened in the Middle East, and instead of having it in Bahrain, we held it in Vienna just before the moot. But when we began to talk about that, I had a conversation with Al Kritzer. Now, many of you know Al Kritzer in a way that you don't realize, because if you've used the PACE law database on the CISG to do your research, you know Al Kritzer because he's the one that created that. He's the one that kept it going. And unfortunately, it hasn't been kept going so well since he died. But Al Kritzer said to me, he said, well, I want to give you a trophy for your pre-moot. And he had prepared, I don't know if we have a photograph of it, but a beautiful Stubenglass sculpture that's like a bridge on a black base. It's a beautiful trophy. And Al was going to be with us at the first pre-moot, but before that, he was told he was going to receive an award from the Arab Society of Comparative Law, or Arab Society of Commercial Law in Alexandria. So he traveled to Egypt, and he was excited. Traveled to Egypt with his family, and before the award ceremony there, he, with his family, took a boat ride on the Nile. He became ill. He went to the hospital, and he died there in Egypt. But Al Kritzer, a Jewish boy from Brooklyn, who was to receive an award from the Arab Society of Commercial Law because he was beginning to prepare a CISG database in Arabic, and died in Egypt, where he was to receive that award. But on the base of the award, he had inscribed in Arabic a verse from the Quran that was in the song Harry sang, and roughly translated, I'm going to do it a little different than in the song. It was, God made of us many tribes so that we might work together. And so that's the trophy that will go to, for the next year, the team that won the final in this competition. And it does have special meaning, and I hope the team will accept it with that special meeting. So now I turn it to the arbitrators of the final round so that they can tell us who will have that trophy for the next year.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody around the world. I'm Ingeborg Schwenzer, and I have been chairing the tribunal of the final. Together with me were Mr. Adrian Winstanley and Professor Stefan Kroll. But before I announce the results of the final, I wanted to congratulate and thank the organizers of the Middle East pre-moot and the whole MENA pre-moot family. It's been a fantastic experience. I think you did a great job. And transforming this into the virtual world and thus keeping it up. And I'll be very happy to join you next year in person, hopefully. So we had an impressive, a wonderful hearing with two very excellent teams, and they were very close. The teams were Claimant Pittsburgh University and Respondent Royal Institute of Columba, Sri Lanka. And it was very close, but we had to decide who comes in first. And ultimately, we came to a unanimous decision. And the winner of this year's MENA Pre-Moot is the Royal Institute of Colombo, Sri Lanka. So please, let's also give a hand not only to the winners, but to the runners-up, Pittsburgh University. And with this, I cannot hear anything anymore.
Yes.
I hand
Hear us.
over to the moderator, please.
Augia.
Thank you, Professor Kunzer. Congratulations. Congratulations again. And congratulations to all our winners. Thank you all so much for joining us for our virtual gala. This concludes the official remarks. And we look forward to everyone joining us next year, hopefully live in person. And listen, our phones are going to be missing us tomorrow when you're not getting those WhatsApp messages, so keep them coming. Thank you all very much for everything, and good night and good morning.
Thanks to everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, everybody.